I'm on the cul-de-sac right outside. Just give you an idea of what the neighborhood is like. The neighbors, it is nice that it's on the cul-de-sac, so you're only going to get traffic from homeowners or visitors. It's a bad day for filming just because it's so gloomy and overcast, but we'll make do. Short driveway, slight incline, not much. The outside paint job looks good. It looks like it's newer than some of the inside paint. So I've had my walk around and I found there's a lot of cosmetic things. It honestly needs love. Like it just hasn't been tended to in a while. And there's a lot of original things, that just need some attention. I haven't seen anything major inside the house of concern, just other than cosmetic things. Of course, that would be a question for an inspector if there was some serious interest. Okay, walking in the front door. You're initially greeted with this very large, spacious living area. To the left is the formal dining space, the kitchen, the garage, the laundry room, and another flex space / TV room, family room over there also. The bedrooms are all on this side. So we've got 2 guest bedrooms and a bathroom here, and then the master is that way. So I'm going to start this way and go through this dining room. It's pretty spacious as well. You could fit quite a bit of furniture in here as far as size. Ceilings are high, at least 9'6", maybe more. Okay, coming this way into the kitchen, there is a pantry right here, wire shelved. Everything is just a little, it needs a good deep clean. It needs some attention some places, and I'll point some things out that might be unusual or, of interest to pay attention to. To the left is the laundry room. I do like that you can close it off if you're running laundry and you're, obviously these folks had a TV right there. So if you're watching TV and the laundry is running, you can close it off and not be bothered by the noise. This laundry room, it's got washer and dryer here. It is plumbed for a basin, a wash basin, laundry room sink, but it does not have one. However, it is plumbed for one. You could do a sink there and another little counter, kind of a drop all, maybe some cabinets if you wanted, make it more of a mud room. All right, go this way into the garage. You'll have to bear with me. Nobody's lived here, and so some of the light bulbs are out, so I cannot turn lights on everywhere. Here's the garage. There's your panel box. Yeah, your irrigation. Pretty standard. Here's the water heater. It's new. Obviously, there's gas here. I would check, but they've got the air handler all covered. It is a Trane, but clearly it's not brand new. That right there, it could be a number of things. It's right at the space where the drywall tape is. To see that's the drywall seam is right, runs all the way down. My garage ceiling has done the same thing. It also could have happened maybe when they were working on the pipe there for the gas. So that's another question for either the seller or an inspector. Got your little bumper. All right. Back through this way into the kitchen. The countertops are Corian. One of the things that people used to love about Corian countertops was that the sink could be all in one piece, which this one is, which makes for efficient cleaning, but some people don't like it because you can't replace just the sink because this is all connected. But it is not. I have Corian in my kitchen as well. It's very tough and it lasts. This one is solid, so I suppose you might see stains or scratches if you really dug in. But, you know, this one's been here since the house was built, and it looks good. You can see the island here. There's no real wear and tear happening. The cabinets are wood, which is nice. You'd be surprised how many houses I go in that have pressboard cabinets or Formica. So I'm going to show you the first of a couple things. Whoever lived here had a bit of a flair for DIY projects or making things a little artsy, and they have created this shadow box effect on the top of all the cabinets, and they've built them, and there's this edge on them, if you can see, that runs, and we're going to see that in a few places in the house. I don't know if it's metal or if it's like almost like a vinyl, but it's all the way around, and you'll see it goes all the way around. The backsplash also goes, it's counter to ceiling. That was a lot of work, and I don't mind this. I mean, it's actual tile. This is not peel and stick. This is not, you know, this is tile and grout, and it's pretty. I like it. I think for me, the part that doesn't fit really is this. It's a little too busy, I think, with all of that. And this is also a tile and grout job. If it were me, I would paint it. Because taking that off would be a huge project. I would just paint it, whitewash it, or wash it in an ivory, whatever matches, so that it's not competing with the backsplash. Because I do like the backsplash. It's pretty. It goes with the cabinets well. And the countertop, it would be a little less busy if that was just solid. So that's just my take on it. Pointing out that it could be done and it would look very nice. Big kitchen, lots of counter space. I love it when people make use of the space in the middle and put islands in. Got a lot of cabinets. Just like the water heater and AC, it's got a gas stove, mounted microwave. You've got a little eat-in kitchen, so you can put a four-seater here in the bay window. This is that flex space. Obviously, previous owners used this as a sitting room, a TV room. If you had a lot of people, this room, I don't know if it would be quite big enough to be comfortable, but if there were just two people, this would be just fine to have this as your seating area, TV room, and then this as your formal living room. That's an option. There are sliders here going out onto the patio, the lanai and the pool deck. This is another place where you're going to see this homeowner built this box here. Instead of curtains or valances, they built this box around, and they did that same. Now this is a faux paint job here, which is a little bit different than that border they had over there. But here it is again. Obviously, if it's not to your liking, you just take it off. So, because it doesn't quite, it's not immaculate looking. The whole house is a little bit like this, just because it's, it's been here a long time and hasn't been painted in a while, and it just needs some love. So, all right, let's go into the living area. This is a really big space. Like, you could do a lot of things. Again, personal opinion. To me, I would love this to be the TV area, but that's, neither here nor there. There just really is a lot of space. Some people go into homes and they find that there's just not enough wall space to fit the furniture that they have, but I don't think you'd really have that problem here. You've got a nice big solid wall here. You've got, over there in the dining room, you've got this giant wall right here that you could, bookcases and a big TV in the center. You could do art. There are just a lot of options. So, all right. We'll head to the guest bedrooms. All of the doorways have this arched doorway to them, which is kind of pretty. Right off to the left is the first bedroom. The two spare bedrooms do have different flooring. Pretty standard. It's not huge. I've seen smaller. Standard bifold door closet. It is situated kind of on a corner on the angle. Both bedrooms are. So, got the one window there. A little linen closet in the hallway. Spare bathroom. Pretty standard. Cultured marble sink. Same cabinets as the kitchen. Tall ceilings. I've got kind of a custom curtain decorative piece for the shower. It is a tub shower combo. Not bad in here. It looks pretty clean in the shower. And I don't see any, water damage. A lot of times I'll come in the shower area and there'll be, maybe some leakage has happened behind the shower head, and I'll find that, or condensation collects and causes some mildew, etc. It looks pretty clean in here. Again, just original, So, here's a little medicine cabinet. Pretty standard. Here's the second spare bedroom. This one has a tile that is a little bit different than the rest of the tile. Same size, but just different. This bedroom is set with a bay window in it. And it has this again, this is a homemade bookshelf, and it's got this border on it that we saw in the kitchen. So I don't hate the idea of this little shelving unit if you painted it white or, made it kind of whatever trim. If you wanted to, if you kept the trim white, maybe paint that white. Or paint it the same, paint the walls a color and paint that the same color. Whatever style you prefer. Again, it's traditional bifold closet doors. You can see that this part of the house originally had carpet. They did not paint inside any of the closets, so that's interesting. That was just a way of somebody saving just a little bit of money. All right, let's head down to the master bedroom. I do love this triple slider here, nice and tall. So they built this casing around the sliders as well, but painted this one white, so it does blend in a little bit better. Not sure I guess you could, somebody had probably some long curtains hanging right there, and then there's another one over here. The boards are a little, just a hair warped. I can't really see it, but anyway. All right, let's go into the master. It's got a couple windows, got one big window there. It's not a bad size. Obviously the bed is meant to go on that wall unless you want the bed underneath a window. You could put the bed headboard there, and then, some dressers there with maybe a TV mounted there, or set atop the dresser. Could do that as well. I'm going to apologize for the lighting in the bathroom, because none of the lights in the bathroom are working at the moment. So there are dueling closets when you first walk in. They're both walk-in. They're not exactly the same, and these have this interesting light right there, fluorescent bulbs, and they don't want to come on. So anyway, here's the other closet. This one's a little shallower. Dare I say this is the man's closet, the other one's the woman's closet, or however the dynamic is for you. Here's the rest of the bathroom area. It does have dual sinks, same exact setup as the spare bathroom, with cultured marble on the countertop and same cabinets as in the kitchen. Big mirror, right, runs the length of the wall. It does have a water closet, so you can close off the toilet. And then it has a walk-in shower. It does look like the shower has been done since, this seems like the one thing that is not original to the house, because I'm sure this was not, this is not as old as the house, so it has been done. I wish I could turn the light on, because I bet this does look pretty nice, at least from what I can see. I do really appreciate that the handle to the faucet is here, so that you're not having to walk in trying to turn the water on and get wet. It has a little alcove right there for some hygiene products. It's pretty sizable as well, and if somebody needed handicap access, this could be done, because it doesn't have a big drop or anything. That track right there could be adjusted or just taken off, and this could be a roll-in. So, all right. Let's go out this way. All of the flooring, like I said, it's aged, so none of it's perfect. You can see some gouge marks here and there. If you covered it in furniture and throw rugs and whatnot, you probably wouldn't notice anything. The tile in the main part of the house that runs through the living space, dining room, kitchen, all of that, it's needs a professional steam clean. It's losing grout in some places, and where the traffic patterns are get real dark versus where there probably was furniture, which is very common. You can see how dark it gets right here, where a lot of people would have been walking. So the grout originally would have been a pretty light, and it wouldn't be so noticeable. I have very similar tile in my kitchen, and I just steamed the grout in there, and it looks fantastic. You'd be surprised how much that could help if you didn't want to rip out all this tile. It probably needs some regrouting in places though, but anyway, we'll go out here. The pool deck in the pool area are interesting. Again, somebody was being creative, I guess. Whoever it's out here, somebody spilled epoxy. I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if they were going to epoxy the whole floor, and then it just didn't work out. But this is for sure epoxy. It almost looks wet when you're in front of it, but it's just epoxy. You can break it off right there. So this stone probably was pretty before somebody painted it. This is the other thing as well. When they painted the stone, of course, they painted the pool deck also. And I'm going to say the dark doesn't do it any favors at all. Number one, of course, it's also just dirty. It's Florida, if you don't pressure wash an outside area for a couple years, it just is going to get dirty and mildewy, So it just needs a real good cleaning. You're just going to find this kind of buildup all around the edge. But whoever painted this pool deck, because that's what you do. I've painted many a pool deck in my day, and this person either didn't use the proper paint or just didn't do enough of it because it's, you know, it's chipping away a lot of places. You can just see. So it makes it look not quite so nice, you know. So somebody just needs to come in here and repaint this pool deck. There aren't any obvious big cracks, which is good. I'm always on the lookout for that. The pool itself, we'll talk about that. It is a fiberglass insert. Okay. Which, in my opinion, is better than a vinyl liner. That's so whether or not you like a fiberglass insert pool is just kind of a personal preference. It seems to be operating. It's on, and the pool equipment is right there, and it is not making any noise. It's quiet, sounds as it should. Now that doesn't mean everything is running perfectly, but it is running and consistently pumping water out there. Obviously, it needs a little cleaning. I will have to ask. I always, you know, get a little funny when people have a hose running into the pool. You know, you got to make sure that there's not a leak and they don't have to keep pumping water into it. So that's, again, a question for the seller and an inspector. This kind of buildup back here is just something that that you're gonna not battle, but because there's a little bit of an incline right here, so you just gotta hose this off back here, you know, pretty regularly. The screens, as they do, you can see the green hue. That's just, they just need to be pressure washed. There's a little paved area here. I don't know if somebody had chairs there or what. There's the side yard with the pool. We're going to go out, I mean the AC unit. We're going to go out the other screen door, and I'll show you that side. I think it's kind of interesting because this side, there's a green space back here, which I kind of like. Go out this side screen door, and you can see that these two houses are at an angle, as in they're closer up at the front corners of the homes, and then they angle outwards and it gets wide. And between these two houses and then all the way back, this is just a green space. Like there won't, you know, there's never going to be anything here. I now you'd want to check and see exactly where the property lines were, but for me, this is kind of a nice added, you know, thing, especially since where you would be sitting from your porch, you're not looking at someone's house. Like you can't even see the neighbor from the porch. You really are looking at this, which is nice. If you had a little dog, you could walk it back here in a pinch, you know, and that would be cool. There is a road back there and a little transformer